So in the last class, we agreed that today we are going to treat the last assignment, which none got, and however, Ademola attempted, which is quite um, encouraging. So today we are going to do it together. So the assignment is that given an array, let's say an array of any number, any collection of numbers, say maybe 2, 1, 0, -1, 4, 8, 7, and 9, for example. Given this array of numbers, we want to get out the very first two items here whose sum will be equal to a target. So let's say this target is 7. So we need to bring out the two items here whose sum is equal to 7. So that is the goal. It can be any number, right? And if we cannot get any two numbers whose sum is equal to 7, then our function should return -1. -1 means um, no matching data, or what we are looking for cannot be achieved. Now, this is the approach, because anytime I try to solve a problem, I will first of all do some level of initial analysis. Now, I have my data, which is the array and the target. And in this sample, we are taking 7 as a sample. So that simply means I must go through each this array to get the item whose sum is equal is it will be 7. So my first step, this is what I will do first. I will need to be able to capture or monitor the position of the elements. I need to know where I am. So I will call this, the first one, the minimum position, and I will call the last one the maximum position. But before I can do any other thing, after I must have declared, that means that I will declare variable called minimum position, and I will also declare another variable called max position. Then I will need to sort this array. I'm going to sort it in ascending order. So that means that I'm going to apply a sort method on this array. So I'm going to do something like array dot sort method, right? Are you with me? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So after sorting, so that means that I will have something like minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, and 9. Let me be sure that I've captured all the items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I've captured all the items. So after I've sorted, then since I have created two variables to track these two positions, right? Something like a pointer. So what I will do is that I will now retrieve this data and this data, and I will now create maybe something like sum, a variable that will hold this data minus 1 plus 9. And we know that minus 1 is the array of minimum position plus the array of the maximum position. Is there any confusion in what I've just explained so far?
No, sir.
No confusion, right? Ademola,
Yes, sir. No,
Ademola,
sir.
is there any confusion?
No, sir.
Okay, Joshua just joined. So, Joshua, is there any confusion? Joshua, I am talking to you. Is there any query, any question?
So I just joined, so I didn't know. I guess not. Uh, so what you guys doing? Because I just joined and I'm doing.
What are we doing? Is that your question? I want to be clear about that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what we are doing is we are trying to solve the last assignment, which you did not do.
Okay.
Is there any other question?
No, sir.
Okay, so let's go and start writing the code. The first, I'm going to declare my function. Let me call it sum of two array items. So I'm going to need to get the array input from user. I will call it um, input array, then input target. Is there any confusion in what I just did? Feromi, any confusion?
No, sir.
Ademola, any confusion? Ademola, any
No, sir.
confusion?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Joshua, any confusion in what I just wrote, line 1, 2, and 3?
Uh,
Any confusion?
no, sir. So
You said
the
what?
The words never mind.
I cannot hear you, please. Speak clearly and louder.
No, I said it's okay.
No question. Okay. So now I'm going to, as I said earlier on, I will create this variable, mean position and max position. And the reason is to track where I am. So I will say let mean position equals 0. Why am I choosing 0? Why not any other number? I am choosing 0 because array is index 0. So the starting point of any array is 0. So what will be the maximum position here, this max position? Any idea from anyone? How do I get the max position here? Ademola, any idea? Are you with us,
So,
Ademola?
yeah. Yeah, I didn't know it was meters.
Okay, so how do I get this position, this index position?
It's C.
I'm listening.
I think it's like C. Mhm. Oh, it's like not too sure.
Okay, no idea. Tell me, is there any idea?
No, sir.
Joshua, is there any idea?
No, sir.
I cannot hear you. No?
No, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
no. Okay. Now, we know that there's a property. The the reason why I cannot do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I cannot say the maximum position is 7. I cannot do that. Why can't I do that? It is because the user can impute any kind of array. It can be 5 content array, it can be 20 content array. But right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 content array. So there's no way I can determine the content except I can compute it. And how do I compute it? I know there's a property called length. Array length will give me 8 because there are 8 items therein. However, I know if I do array, which is this one, array length, let me do that first, dot length. So this will return me 8 because it will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 items. However, I know that my um, array is index starts from 0. So I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means that the last will be in the array dot length minus 1. And that is why I'm going to subtract 1 from the array dot length. Is there any question in what I just explained?
No, sir.
Follow me. Is there any question in what I just explained?
No, sir.
Joshua, is there any question in what I just explained?
There's
Okay. So now, having determined the value for mean position and max position, The next thing is for me to sort the array. And if I want to sort the array, we have treated sorting. So I will sort the array in ascending order. Because the array the user will input can be in any form of order. So we need to arrange them in ascending order. So this will do just that. Then I need to declare a sum that we hold a sum variable that we hold the sum of these two numbers. So I will do let sum equal 0. That is a starting point. I don't want any form of value therein. Then the next thing is for me to now create a loop. Why am I creating a loop? Simple. I will need to add this one, this plus this. Then I will, where's my pen again? So I will do, I can rub off these other ones. We have cleared these other ones. Okay, so now I will do this first item plus this last item, and I will assign it to sum. So minus 1 plus 9. This will give 8 into this into the sum variable. Now I will check. I will check, is this sum greater than the target? If this sum is greater than the target, then I will do something. If, then I will do something. And what is that something that I will do? I know that if this sum is greater than the target, as in our example 7, we know that 8 is more than 7. So I'm going to decrement the maximum position. Why am I decrementing the maximum position? Simple. Because I know that this last number is the maximum number in my array, and there is no way that the target will be greater than this number, because the sum is already greater than the target. So what I will do is this: I will now reduce the maximum position, the max position. I will reduce it by 1, so that this pointer will move from here to the next one. Then I will now do the sum again. So, and once I do the sum again, and minus 1 plus 8 will surely give me 7. Now that means that now I have my target. So there will be a condition also that we check if sum is equal to target. And if this is true, then return these two values. I'm going to return these two values, minus 1 and and 8, right? Minus 1 and 8. I will return those two values. However, if the sum if the sum if the sum is less than the target, let's say, let's assume that I have let's just assume that I have maybe Let's see. Okay, let's say the target is 11, for example. 11. Let's say target is 11, for example. So we know that minus 1 plus 9 is 8, and 8 is less than the target, which is 11. So and because the sum is less than 11, it simply shows that I need to move this one forward, while this will still remain at the largest number there. Why? Because the sum is less than the target. There is no way that I will need to move the pointer away from here, because remember, this is the largest number in this collection. So let us just quickly go into the code so that we demonstrate what I've just explained. So since it's a loop, I'm going to create a loop, a do while loop. I can create any other loop anyway. So I'll create a do while loop. Now, what is the condition? While this position, mean position, is less than the max position. So once I have been able to do this, then I will now check. I'm going to check if if okay, I will need to do the sum here first. Assign the sum of the input array. The very first one is what? Minimum position, the min pos, plus input array, the max position. This will retrieve the first number, and this will retrieve the last number. So I'm going to add the two and store inside this sum. So I will now check if the sum is greater than the input target. I will need to do something. If the sum is greater, I will need to reduce this max position by 1. So max position minus minus, that will reduce by 1. However, if else if the sum is less than the input target, then I will need to reduce the minimum position. No, I sorry, increase the minimum position by 1. I will increase by 1, such that it will be coming close to each other until the collection is exhausted. Now, I need to check if the sum is equal to the target, right? So if else if sum is equal to the input target, then I will say return those two values. So how do I get the two values? I will use an array, and I will pass in the values therein, so which is input array of minimum position and input array of max position. Is there any question in what I've done so far? Feromi, any question? Feromi, any
No,
question?
sir, I don't have any other question.
Joshua, any question?
No, sir.
No question. So you mean you understood everything I've done here so far?
Um, yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I cannot hear you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Ademola,
No, sir, no question.
okay. All right. So I move on. However, if after looping through this data, I cannot find any anyone that satisfy these conditions, then what I will do is I will return -1 because I need to um, return -1 to indicate that we cannot, or the program cannot identify any two numbers whose sum is equal to this target, right? I can even just do if this is equal to, if this is that, then else this, then do, okay, let me just leave it this way. It's still okay. So now let's run it. Let me clear the board here. So okay, before I run, I need to call my function. So let's say console.log, because it's going to return. Then I'm going to call this function. I'm going to call this function, and I will put an okay. Let me put data here. Let's see. This is what we capture, what the user will input. Let's see. 2 3 0 -2 5 8 4 6 and 9. So that is the input data. And let's say let target equal 13, for example. So I can now pass data in there and the target in there. So let's run it. So now you can see it returns 4 and 9, and this addition of these two gives what? 13. 4 and 9, this one and that one. So let us try something that is not within the range 132. It should return -1. That is it. It cannot find any two numbers whose sum is equal to 132. Is there any question?
Um, no.
Ademola, is there any question? Ademola, is there any question? It appears Ademola is not here with us. Ademola, is there any question? Feromi, is there any question?
No, sir.
Joshua, is there any question?
No, sir, said no.
Okay. All right. So since there is no single question among the three of you, I will take it that you've understood this little project. All right. So now I want to give another assignment. I hope probably this time around you'll be able to. Uh, should I give another assignment? Okay. Now this is the assignment. Is Ademola back? No. Okay. Now, given any string, for example, let's say the user inputs a string hello. I want you to write a function. I want you to write a function that reverses the characters of a string input. For example, given the string hello, the function will or should, as the case may be, return it should return O L L E H. So your function should reverse the input. This is the input hello. So your function should reverse the characters of that string. So reversing is starting from the last character O. So we have O, L, L, E, and H. Is there any question on the assignment? Follow me. Follow me. Is there any question on the assignment?
No, sir.
Joshua, is there any question on the assignment?
No, sir.
Ademola, is there any question on the assignment?
No, sir.
Okay. The last time I was asking if you have any question on this code I wrote here. Do you have any question?
No, sir.
Okay, so in the absence of question, I think we can call it a day. All right, so I'm going to share this code on the WhatsApp platform. So I need to go to the platform. I think I shared it batch 2. So that is the code for the last assignment. So please, you can go and do your assignment. All right, see you on Saturday. Thank you and God bless.